Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news, the greatest show on earth packing up for good. After 146 years, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus announcing their last show will be later this spring. ABC 7's Kate Flexter spoke with the circus's owners, Feld Entertainment, as well as two past performers about the legacy and the loss.
Thanks, Adam. The parent company Feld Entertainment tells us they simply weren't selling enough tickets to keep the show going. For many locally, the news comes with mixed emotions.
Welcome to the greatest show on earth!
For 146 years, the greatest show on earth brought entertainment and a little bit of magic to millions of Americans.
There was no show to work for like Ringling Brothers because it truly is the greatest show on earth.
Now, though, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus is calling it quits. And for Aaron Watkins, who worked as a clown with the circus for about 5 years, the news is devastating.
I was shocked. I think everyone I know was shocked.
For more than a century, the circus flourished, putting the small coastal town of Sarasota on the map thanks to John Ringling. But over the years, the crowds became smaller, something Watkins attributes to the invention of television.
That really was the first real chip away at the circus.
Parent company Feld Entertainment attributes the decision to a combination of high costs coupled with a decline in ticket sales. The final straw, the company says, doing away with the iconic elephants after accusations of animal cruelty, which saw a decline greater than could have been anticipated.
It was certainly a surprise. I was shocked.
World-renowned daredevil Nik Wallenda was equally saddened by the news. John Ringling was responsible for bringing his family to America.
You know, there's a lot of sentiment there for sure, and they are an American icon.
Wallenda comes from a long line of circus performers dating back more than 200 years and says it's an art form that's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Went through the recession, the Great Depression, the circus just kept going on. It's one of the oldest forms of entertainment for sure, and people are fascinated with what we do.
So will we ever see another greatest show on earth? It depends on who you ask.
You'll never be able to afford to get that many creative people together again to match the grandeur of the greatest show on earth.
We always say the show must go on in our industry, and that's a fact. My family has done this for over 200 years, and I have no intentions of stopping anytime soon. And if anything, what's happening with Ringling Brothers encourages me and inspires me to go out and do greater things so that I can carry on that legacy that my family started a couple hundred years ago.
Feld Entertainment will formally announce the decision at a press conference tomorrow morning. We'll be there and bring you the very latest. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Kate. That circus stopping in Miami today, where people have been hearing the news upon entering the show all day. Those fans taking in what could be the last Ringling Brothers performance they ever see.
I'm 60, and I remember the circus forever and ever more. I mean, this is a big thing. I had to make sure she came to see it, but when she get old enough to enjoy it. So this is, I'm going to be disappointed.
It's a magic as a child, seeing the animals and seeing the performers and the clowns and just innocence.
Ringling has two touring circuses this season, Circus Extreme and Out of This World. The final show for the Circus Extreme performance will be in Providence, Rhode Island. The other will close after a performance in Uniondale, New York. In other Ringling-related news, the Ringling Museum and its parent organization, Florida State University, is just a month away from a lawsuit trial and now plans to file a counterclaim against one of their donors. The donor, Helga Wall-Apelt, claimed her gift agreement to the museum has been breached. Wall-Apelt, whose original donation helped fill the museum's Asian Arts Center, later sued the museum and withdrew her donated collection. The Ringling says Wall-Apelt is in default of a final payment of more than $2 million, a part of her original gift agreement that was to have established an endowment for the operating expenses of the center. If filed, the counterclaim will be heard by a judge on February 7th. Now let's head over to Wendy Ross for a first check on that local weather today. Wendy?
It was a beautiful day. Once again, we had lots and lots of sunshine around, and we saw no rain along the west coast of Florida. But we're starting to see a few more clouds beginning to move in across the Panhandle, and they're heading straight for our area. But we are not expecting to see anything in the way of rainfall tonight. So things are going to be nice and quiet for us. And we are, of course, seeing and experiencing some very lovely weather. Even at this hour, it's 70 degrees right now. We've got a couple of those clouds that have already moved on in. You can see dew point and humidity levels are more moderate, and the winds have picked up a little bit. They're coming in out of the east at around 13 miles per hour. It's creating a very balmy evening, and you can see we're going to bottom out into the 60s tonight for overnight lows. And we'll let you know what the holiday morning is going to be like tomorrow morning. And Monday is a holiday for many of us, so we'll let you know what we can expect for this upcoming work week as well. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. Tonight, if you were driving out on the interstate, you may have noticed dozens of emergency vehicles and stopped cars along I-75. They are in position to salute a procession that went by for a deputy who died while searching for a murder suspect in Orlando. Deputy First Class Norman Lewis was killed in a motorcycle crash Monday while looking for Markeith Lloyd, the man accused of gunning down another Orlando officer, Deborah Clayton. Lewis, known for his nicknames Big Norm and Gentle Giant, was a graduate of Port Charlotte High School. He will be honored at Murdoch Baptist Church in Port Charlotte on Monday, a service that is scheduled to start at 2 p.m. In honor of Martin Luther King weekend, Booker High School put together a special evening. The event reflecting on past struggles and celebration of triumphs the community has made eliminating racial barriers. The school inviting Stetson University law professor and Dean Emeritus Bruce Jacobs to speak at the event. Jacobs is the last living participant of the U.S. Supreme Court case Gideon versus Wainwright, a landmark case in which the Supreme Court unanimously ruled that the states had to provide counsel in criminal cases to represent defendants who are unable to pay for their own attorneys. And there are several more events scheduled for Monday to honor Dr. King's civil rights accomplishments. A few of those events include a memorial breakfast at the Robert L. Taylor Complex at 7:30. A Stride Toward Freedom March will be held starting at 11 at the Robert L. Taylor Complex and end at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Park in Sarasota. And for a complete list of those events, you can visit our website at mysuncoast.com. Still to come here on ABC 7, an annual Suncoast event promoting full stomachs and community. How volunteers say rising numbers of visitors alone won't help the Jewish community.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong. A place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7.
After my election, there was talk of a post-racial America. And such a vision, however well-intended, was never realistic.
Race relations in our nation and here on the Suncoast. As Trump prepares to take office, what are the expectations for change? I'm Alan Cohn. Join us for this critical conversation.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. What works and what doesn't to keep you from getting sick, plus Daredevil Bello Knock and a trip around St. Armand's Circle.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory. It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct prices.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Port Florida Home.
By Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get the 3rd free, plus our lifetime warranty. New South Window, we manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
In 5 days, Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 45th president of the United States, but it's been a rocky road to the White House, and tonight he is clashing with 2 prominent public officials. Here's ABC's Richard Cantu with the details.
As Donald Trump enjoys one more weekend of private life, this is what he can look forward to after taking the oath of office. Thousands turned out around the country telling Trump and the Republican Congress not to pull the plug on Obamacare.
Let's fix what can be fixed, but let's not throw the lives of tens of millions of people into jeopardy.
Bigger rallies are expected for Mr. Trump's inaugural weekend. Rehearsals for Friday's swearing in are going smoothly. But Congressman John Lewis is one of at least 22 Democrats boycotting the ceremony. The civil rights pioneer says he doesn't see Trump as a legitimate president.
It's just deeply disappointing to me, and I hope he reconsiders it.
Trump taking heat for firing back at Lewis. All talk, 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 no action or results.
And you're worried about a tweet that says, hey, why don't you get back to work instead of questioning my legitimacy? Too bad.
And the president-elect in another face-off with U.S. intelligence chiefs, calling on them to apologize for circulating an unverified report that Russia has compromising material on him. That got him an extraordinary parting shot from the outgoing CIA director.
What I think Mr. Trump has to understand is that this is more than being about him. And it's about the United States and our national security.
And the hard part starts Friday. Richard Cantu, ABC News, New York.
For the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday tomorrow, President-elect Trump was scheduled to visit the Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington. That trip has now been called off. Well, the 9th annual Jewish Food Festival was held on the Suncoast today at Temple Sinai. The popular community-inspiring event bringing in crowds looking to get a taste of culture. And from the food to the vendors, there was plenty to taste from. Pastrami, corned beef, and homemade food. The day was about volunteering. Organizers of the event saying they hope to inspire a sense of do-gooding within the community.
We have a lot of volunteers here, which is a really wonderful thing for me to see the volume of people that are really active and involved in this type of an activity. So you can see the room is full, and it brings in people not just from our synagogue, but from all throughout Sarasota and even from beyond.
It's pretty good.
Last year, the event brought in 3,000 people, and this year they expect to have even more with over 200 volunteers at this year's festival. And a big night for the Suncoast, the Sarasota Power Sail and Squadron holding a change of watch ceremony at the Bird Key Yacht Club, commemorating their new bridge and new commander. Richard Winston has been chosen to become the 65th commander.
And I'm very proud and honored that they saw fit to bestow the honor upon me of being the commander this year. Our mission is to promote safe boating through education.
Winston will be replacing Bob Holmes as the new bridges commander. A lot of great work they do, keeping people safe out there on the water, but today really no need for water safety. I mean,
well, you always have need for water safety. You just didn't have to worry about the weather. Yeah, sometimes the weather can make boating.
For it. Just throw it to the wind.
Don't listen to Adam. It's late.
Good.
It's late. It's almost over, right? We had another beautiful day. I mean, another gorgeous day, and we saw our temperatures back up in the 80s. It's very spring-like out there on this winter day. And we're also looking at an overnight low that was 57 degrees last night, so a little cooler than the night before. But we are going to start to see a general warm up for the overnight period, at least starting tonight. We're going to see our temperatures dropping down into the 60s, and you can see where the records were set back in 64 and 47. And so we're a little bit off of those temperatures. temperature readings, but right now it's 70 degrees. We do have lots of cloudy conditions out there right now. Dew point humidity levels are starting to creep up just a little bit, and the winds are coming in out of the east right now at around 13 miles per hour. So it's really creating a very balmy evening outside. And as you can see, the northern parts of the state, Jacksonville 58 degrees. Otherwise, we're looking at 60s over the northern sections of Florida, and then the rest of the state in the 60s and 70s right now. As we get closer to the water, temperatures 68 on Longboat Key and Siesta Key, but then Venice is reporting 71 degrees. Sarasota and Bradenton also in the 70s, while the rest of the locations are reporting temperatures in the 60s at this point. So we've had a little bit more clouds starting to come on in. You can see them moving across the Gulf of Mexico, but you'll notice there are no showers really associated with this. We're not expecting to see any rain tonight. We've been getting the winds coming in from the east to the west, and so we've seen a line of showers, mostly from Miami, moving across the state, not holding together very well, just some very light rains taking place there, while central Florida has been mostly fair. And we have had that dry pocket of air now start to move down to the south, so we're having a hold taken away there, and that means that we're going to start to see some more moisture coming on in. We're going to start to feel the differences too as the winds begin to shift around. We're going to start to see those winds coming in out of the south. Those southerly winds are going to help to keep us on the warm side and also introduce some more humidity to the picture. That starts Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to start to see that. But you'll notice that we're not expecting to see any rain tomorrow. On Tuesday, we may get a stray shower that could come through, but mostly to this over the southern part of the state. It won't be till the latter part of the week that we actually start to see some rains coming in. So we're still under the domination of this high pressure, and as that high pressure system starts to move around, we are going to see those winds shifting around and coming in out of the south. So our highlights are going to be mild temperatures, and we're also going to experience higher humidity beginning over the midweek with just a slight chance of rain. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. Now we'd like to welcome someone who knows a little bit about the circus. The Rosaire family, who operates Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary here in town, goes back 9 generations of circus performers. The latest dabbling in exotic animal training. Clayton Rosaire still doing many of those exotic animal shows, and he joins us right now. Clayton, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
My first question, your family comes from overseas where they started circus performing, came here to the States. Just put in perspective for us where Ringling, the Ringling Circus ranks globally.
Well, it just is an amazing way for people to get to see, first off, one of the oldest forms of entertainment in the world, one of the oldest traditions in the United States of America, older than baseball. It was like a traveling zoo. It was a little bit of everything. It was just an amazing form of entertainment that was so well-rounded for the entire family.
Absolutely, and you, as we mentioned, you're involved with animals, and in Kate's package, she mentioned Feld Entertainment, saying that having to retire the elements was really like the last straw for them. And so as an animal lover, as someone who trains these animals, tell us, kind of your side about that perception of animal cruelty in the circus.
Well, of course, people always say terrible things about the circus performers, and which is really sad because they're so dedicated. As an animal entertainer, you'll really only want 2 things. You only have a purpose to do 2 things in your life, and that's number 1, to have a healthy animal, because you can't be an animal entertainer without a healthy animal, and number 2 is to entertain the public. So their whole life is based on having healthy animals and making your family happy. But somehow that got mixed up, and people started putting the blame on these animals. Performing animals are one of the most highly regulated animals in the world. I mean, they're subject to 24-hour-a-day inspections, and they really do an amazing job. These shows that travel really take great care of their animals.
And there will be a number of animals retiring. You take on some of those animals. How big an endeavor is that moving forward for the circus?
Well, luckily there are wonderful facilities around that are more than happy to take those animals in and give them a permanent, safe, wonderful home, and treat them the way they were treated, given great care and good food and a lot of love. It's just a sad thing that there are many families around this country that aren't going to get to enjoy these amazing creatures. By going to the circus and seeing those majestic, amazing elephants, kids went home and thought about elephants, and they researched elephants, and it sparked interest. And so those amazing performers were wonderful ambassadors for their wild counterparts.
Well, Clayton, thank you very much for all you guys do over at Big Cat, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Well, coming up next is sports, so stick around.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
2 years ago, my son was born. Now he's running, playing, and learning to speak. When I look at him, I can't help but to see how free he is. I want my son to have the same freedom when he grows up. Protect our freedom of speech, not just for us, but for the future generations.
Just go do it. Go do it. If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
It's Tampa's most exclusive event of the year, and you're invited. The Morgan Auto Group Charity Polo Classic is back Saturday, February 25th at DI Polo Tour in Plant City. One unforgettable day of luxury and sport with cuisine from Tampa Bay's finest restaurants. Plus, every ticket sold helps a local charity, including the Children's Cancer Center, Ryan Neese Foundation, Close to Kids, and Morgan Auto Group's Helping Hand Fund. Don't miss the Morgan Auto Group Charity Polo Classic. Visit charitypoloclassic.com for tickets and information.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Now, sports.
Earlier this evening, our highlights of the NFC divisional game showed what appeared to be Green Bay running away with that game against Dallas, and what no one could have predicted was how that game would end. Let's go to the fourth quarter, 4 minutes to go. Dak Prescott to Dez Bryant, touchdown, 2-point conversion ties it up. The Cowboys closing the gap after trailing almost all night. Now the Packers a chance to take back the lead, but they need a franchise record 56-yard kick from Mason Crosby. It's good. 1:10 left in the game. That's enough time for Dan Bailey to answer for Dallas. 52-yarder, perfect. So this game is heading into overtime, right? Well, the Pack gets Mason Crosby one more chance to win it, and this time from 51. Mason Crosby, you will never have to pay for another drink in Green Bay. Packers win 34-31. Heartbreak for rookies Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, so close to a conference title in just their first season. On to Kansas City, where the Chiefs and Steelers are playing for a shot at the AFC title game. First quarter, Chiefs down 3 inside the 10. Play action rollout for Alex Smith finds Albert Wilson for the touchdown and the lead. Next drive, 3rd and 10 for the Steelers. Big Ben Roethlisberger going for a lot more, looking for Antonio Brown. Got him. 52-yard pickup. It sets up this 38-yard field goal for Chris Boswell. And no problem there. Then before the half, now the Steelers up 9-7. Handoff to Le'Veon Bell, who hits the corner for a 16-yard gain. This game in the fourth quarter right now should be wrapping up here soon. WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Superfly Snuka has died at the age of 73. The former pro wrestler succumbed to a bout with stomach cancer Sunday afternoon at his son-in-law's home near Pompano Beach, Florida. Earlier this month, Snuka was found not competent to stand trial in the 1983 death of his girlfriend Nancy Argentino. A native of the Fiji Islands, Superfly Snuka was known for his high-flying dives off of the ropes. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Why do I run? I think life's a journey. Every step brings me closer to my goal. I run to see the world, and when you're surrounded by so much beauty, how could it not take your breath away?
Join us at Robinson Preserve Friday, March 31st at 6:30 p.m. for our 9th annual Twilight 5K and 10K race. It's one of the most beautiful scenic race courses in Florida. This race will leave you breathless.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better eater.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
Man, he used to hang out with us.
Yeah, and then he just stopped.
I hope he's gonna be okay.
1 in 5 of us has a mental health condition, but emotional pain can be hard to spot and harder to talk about. Learn the 5 signs of emotional suffering. If you see 1 or more signs in someone you care about, reach out, connect, and offer to help.
Megan, come sit with us.
And our answers from
Visit changedirection.org.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Penguin Books says Prince Charles has co-authored a book on climate change together with an environmentalist and a Cambridge scientist. The Prince of Wales, long time a critic of man-made climate change, wrote the book on climate change. The book launched Sunday as a part of the Lady Bird book series, which traditionally targeted children but has recently expanded to a broader audience. It uses the original style of a picture book but offers adult bite-sized understanding on a sometimes challenging subject. Other books in the series include works on evolution and quantum mechanics. So, yeah, if you ever struggling to understand quantum mechanics, check out the book series there.
That's amazing.
It's easy.
I'm going to show the 7-day forecast because I didn't get a chance to do that early.
Bring it on.
And you can see temperatures are just very spring-like. Let's face it, winter left.
Yeah, we had it for a fleeting day, I think. It's kind of winter.
That's what we've had. Yeah.